is add these four effects together. What happens in these four effects? There is flare effect, particle system, ramp effect, particle system, flare effect, and then stylized glow in the text. So what happens is they are moving with the text, and gradually they will also disappear. So the text is moving, there is some particle system going on at the back, gradually it will reduce, it will go away. And then there is another effect which is glow effect, which will come up. The other effects will die away and the glow will start. And then the glow will also go away in a few seconds. So this is what we want to animate and create. So this is, if I can just hide these two and play this for you from the beginning. This is the particle system. Particle system is creating some particles and it is also moving. And now you can select which kind of particles you want to be generating over here. So these are some particles being generated. The other top layers I've hidden just now. And let me just hide this also. What you have at the background is just like a gradient background. It's nothing special, it's a gradient background. So how do we do this? Let's start from the beginning. So I'll create a new project, create a new composition. This time I'm creating this on SDTV. Uh, So I'm creating this on HDTV. It's being recorded. I'll share it with you if it's not coming up there. I think there is a problem with the projector with working with the Camtasia. So it's being recorded on my screen. So I start from scratch, create a new composition with HDTV or HDV dimensions. As soon as I create it, first thing I need to do is to create a solid. That solid will be my background. So I'll give it background. On the background, I will add an effect. That effect is called ramp. RAMP. I'll search for that ramp from the effects panel. The ramp comes up. Drag and drop this on the layer itself. Yeah. I'm not sure because I started recording, and since then the screen is not moving. It's still being recorded, so I don't know. Shall I show you once and then start record separately? And then the Okay, so I added a background layer, add an effect into it called ramp. Okay, on the ramp you'll see there are various parameters that come up on the project panel. You can adjust its position, where does it start and where does it end. So I would like to adjust it like this, and you can make any adjustment as you like. Once this is done, I'll do swap color, so the black comes down and white comes up. A little bit of more adjustment if you like. So you are actually controlling where does it start and where does the ramp end. So this is basically what is happening. It's creating a radiant. Okay, that's my ramp effect. On top of this, I need to create another solid. Okay, that solid should be producing particles. Particles in After Effects is called particle system. So I'll be creating particles on top of this. Right now there is nothing on top of it, so I'll just go to effect, simulation, and I'll select particle systems 2. That's the one which creates particles, and if I play this you will see it is creating lots of particles. Now what kinds of particles it is creating, it is obviously customizable. So what I do, I decrease their birth rate to from 4 to approximately 1.5. Longevity also decrease a little, so they are not as long reaching. Producer, I will in the beginning they are positioned over here, so I'll like to position it towards the left in the beginning. So it's at the extreme left in the beginning, so you cannot see. and then by the time it reaches about 15 seconds, I'm creating this whole animation to about 15 seconds. And let me just also change the settings to about 15 seconds only, so we can see the timeline appropriately. Okay, so this is at 0. When it reaches 15, what I want to do is I just animated position. I clicked on the stopwatch for position. When it reaches somewhere about 10, I wanted to reach here. So basically what will be happening is it will be moving like this and producing particles for me. And then 10 it will stop. It will not be moving anymore. Okay, so let's also at 10 I'm going to reduce its radius size. Okay, that's it is producing. This is the producer. Let's come to the physics. I'm going to change two things. There are two kind of settings you can change in physics and particles, which represent the object which is being thrown. So this is twirly kind of object which is being thrown, and exactly what? Not just a line. Let me just reduce the velocity to somewhere here. Okay, and it should be throwing something towards the left. All right. So this is what I can adjust over here. Gravity to 0, so it does not produce and falls down. So if you select one, it will fall down, but very slowly. Okay, resistance, meaning when it is being thrown, does the surface offer some resistance to it? Okay, so I'll make the extras to 0. Okay, that's one setting, and then we'll go to particle, and instead of line, there are lots of other kinds of particles you can select. So I'm gonna select a thing which is looking a little good. So let's say we select a tripolygon. So it's like a triangular polygon which is being created, and it moves from left to right. So that's my particle system effect, and obviously I can change the colors to suit whatever I need, etc. Both of these two colors I can select. I'm just accepting the defaults now. Um, okay, so this is what is happening from start 0 second to 10 second. This particle system is creating particles at this rate at 1.4. Now the birth rate is 1.4. It is not increasing, it is not decreasing. If you like to do that, to increase or decrease their birth during animation, you may as well do that. So I'll stop this over here, and this is the particles. The next effect we want to add is flare effect on top of it. So I'll go to new solid again, and I'll call it flare, and I'll search for flare from the effects. So I select lens flare. Now there's something which you will notice over here. What this solid is doing, it is kind of covering everything behind it. So what happened to particles and background? It's being covered. What you will do for this effect, you will select add over here. So what it does is it does not hide behind whatever was done before. So it adds. So there is flare. Let's select the flare parameters. So it should be, I would like it to be in the center. So let's select this to come in the center, just behind each other. So that's a correct flare. So the 3 different types of lenses you can have. Let's select 300 mm, which is by default selected already. Now you notice this flare is not moving anyway. What we would like to do is to have migrating birds text, and all this effect should be moving left to right with it, and then gradually it should go away. So from 0 till 10, the flare effect should also be moving. So what we will do is let's select the flare. So you can animate the flare center from here or on its transform and its position. So you can do both things together. So you have, since you know transform already, let me just show you how to make the change from the flare center. Just animate this from here and move it to here so that you cannot see it, and by the time it reaches about 10, You also bring it about the same position where the other effect is. So, and at 12 it should reach about here, just behind it. So what happens is, basically, the flare effect and the particle system, they are coming together and they stop over here. Now once they stop, I would like them to disappear. I would like the flare to disappear slowly, because then after this my text will come and it should be visible. So about from 12 to 13 or 14, I would like to animate the brightness also. So let's click on the brightness clock, and by after 12, let's say about 13, I make the brightness to 0. So the brightness goes away. So essentially what happens is, the flare effect is gone. Also, what I like to do is, the particle effects should stop creating more particles here. So I animate the birth also. You see, it is giving birth to the particles at the rate of 1.4, which is fine. Keep on giving, and then by the time it comes at about 30 seconds, it should stop creating more particles. So what really happens is, it is creating particles, particles, particles by up till 12 seconds, and then it reduces, reduces, reduces. By the time it comes at 13, no more particles, and then what, no more being generated, and they'll go away. So that's my particle effect. The next thing I want to add is the text. Now the text should is the actual thing which I want to show. So I right click, new text over here, and really the text I want to place is migrating birds. Migrating birds. So now you can select, different type of font, whatever their color, etc. You know this already. The size, etc. So these are the standard text effects. Alright, I want this text to be animated as well. So when it starts, it should move with the effect. So in the beginning, where should it be? Let's animate based on its position. Based on its position, when it's at number 1, 0th second, it should be hidden behind somewhere. So it's hidden behind somewhere. Now when it reaches 12, when it reaches 12, it should be somewhere here. Okay, that's the effect I need. So the effects come together with the text, reaches here, and slowly it dies down, the one at the background. So this keyframe I really don't need, so I'll delete it, and it dies down. When the particles die down, now I will add the glow effect on top of it. So let's do that. My transform is finished. To do that, to do the glow effect, click on the layer for the text, go to effects and stylize, and glow it, start glowing it. So at this point in time, you will see that there's a properties for glow over here. So in the beginning, there shouldn't be any glow. See, let's just select this, the settings over here, threshold to 100%. By the time it reaches here at about 13, at this point, excuse me, now we want it to start glowing. So it starts glowing, excuse me. So it's 0, it should be 0 in the beginning, and it should be 0 at 13 also. Let's make it 100%, so there is 0 glow, meaning no glow at all. So after 13 up till 14, we want it to glow. So it's 47.5. Okay, so it's not glowing, not glowing. So when the birth of the particle effect stops, when the flare stops, now the text starts glowing, which is good. Let it glow for a few seconds, let's say from up till 16, and then died down, so it's not glowing anymore. So that's my complete animation. Let's play this from the beginning. So we have ramp effect at the background, then we have particles 2, physics particles 2, and then we have flare, and then we have migrating birds text. On top of it we have glow effect. Now I want you to explore a few more effects after this, once you finish this. So the effects go away, and then the glow comes up, and then the glow goes away also. Let me just save this. Migrating birds effects. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this.